Am I moving? I think I'm a little stuck. Pinaliko kasi ako ni Jake eh. Sakto na yun eh. With the popularity of subcompact crossovers, here is Hyundai's entry to the very, very competitive segment. Introducing to you the new Hyundai Creta 2023. What we have here, guys, is what I would consider a 5-seater practical crossover. And I'm doing this review as of today, being able to drive the car for more than 500 kilometers in crazy NLEX traffic over 7 hours one way. So I could just say that over the weekend, I've gotten a good idea of what this car is all about. A couple of adjectives to describe the Creta would be: 1, solid. The last car that I've had or that I owned personally, that's a Hyundai, was an old Tucson. And you would definitely feel how far Hyundai has taken the car forward in terms of build quality, finish, and how the car feels. And being solid is not something you would see on a spec sheet, but you will be able to see that once you drive over those corrugated roads, once you drive it over long periods of highways, twisties and all that. And what I would say is being able to use it over a period of time, that actually is what I would describe the car. A solid entry into the crossover segment. The exterior of the Creta I would describe is a futuristic modern design. And there are a couple of things that I would like to point out that might intrigue you or not. The headlights up here, these up here are not the headlights, these are the DRLs. But underneath, we have the headlight and the bright lights is underneath. One thing I need to note is there is no fog lamps. Oh, you will only find that out over hard raining and you really need to turn on more lights. So there are no fog lamps because I was looking for the fog lamp toggle in the car. But no biggie because the lights are bright enough. Let's move over to the side. The profile of this car is quite high because I did go through a little bit of a flood. A little lang. In San Simon. Yeah, so in short, we were able to test its wading wet. We were able to test its wading depth. And given the scenery today, we would say that this is something we would take out on adventure if it's just a simple gravel road, not really too technical campsite. And we've made the Creta reach River Ranch. And you know, guys, we didn't cross that river, don't worry, but I think I'm a little stuck. I need a push. How far is it back? Is it turning? Okay, traction control off. Okay, let's do that again. Traction control off. Driver skill. Controlled speed lang. Well, what we did is, so I put it on traction control off. So that stopped the power from killing. And you can see there in that mud, I was stuck already. Just a little bit of rock forward and back and controlled, not overspinning the tires. And you're able to get out. So I'm feeling a little smug right now.
Drive off.
See you later. In the back, I would consider this car, I call it futuristic look because it's not your ordinary squared tailed off lights. It's a three-piece design, right? There's a top, bottom, and it's a hit or miss for me in the back. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, then you don't. But for me, I won't say I love it, but I don't hate it. There are cars where you don't like it. This is I don't hate it. It kind of works well. Okay, some more things to note on the exterior. The car has, we gotta say this, there are fake road bars on the top. Is that the proper word?
No, they're not fake. They're just, you can't load.
Okay, listen, there are load bars that you do not apply load on. O, yan na lang.
Non-load load bars. Non-load load
Oh,
bars.
do not apply load. Oh, yan, that's from Hyundai. Oh, so in short, I was actually kind of hoping to be able to mount a crossbar and an awning for you guys and really show how to accessorize this car for adventure. But given that Hyundai said do not apply load, so we weren't able to do that. And that's probably the only major gripe I have about the exterior, because if you're looking at having a setup for outdoors, mounting stuff on the roof is not the option. You will have to go with ground setups and put the stuff in the trunk. Let's check out the interior. But before that, let's turn on the AC. It works! Welcome to the 21st century, guys! A car that starts by itself. Let's check it out. So guys, as you've seen, the car remotely starts with the push of a key. Which brings us to the interior. If you're in a campsite like this and it's a hot day, imagine sitting by the roadside. Ito na naman tayo sa imagine. Pressing the button. On the other Staria, the door automatically opens. Ito, you automatically start and then turn on the aircon. I think that's a cool feature. What we have here is a very modern design inside, which a couple of things since this car's been with us that I like is one, all the leather seats are two-toned. So we get this leather, I don't know. It's not Napa, it's just good leather option. That's brown and black. Next, all the technologies that you would want on the vehicle is already included in the new Creta. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto are wireless, and then wireless charging are included. I like that the steering is both rake and telescope, so that's a good thing. And after much deliberation on this instruments cluster, I do like it now because it does have all of the features you would want. I've been driving it for so long, I memorized where the buttons are. It's in driver assistance, it's in cluster, but it's not working. Yon, cluster theme, and then you get this cool racy vibe. So the interior, I would say, has two modes if I'm driving. Being a crossover, the idea is to be able to raise the seat higher, and glad to say, Hyundai has put this into their crossover. So you can actually drive with a configuration of feeling like a higher SUV. But if you're stuck in traffic for 7 hours, this is not the most comfortable position. I would like to call it the lazy configuration. So what I would do, what I did, put the seat down, and then lay it back a bit, sit back, perfect armrest height, traffic position. Key has a specific location for the key. Oh, galing. Naisip nila yun. Alright, so driving it, okay, let's move on with the interior. I would say that where your hands are touching or where the soft touch materials are, leather steering wheel, but all the other stuff are quite hard plastic. So if you're not into that, then you just have to live with the hard plastics of the car. Again, this is a subcompact entry, so I would say that manage the expectations for the interior. But given the price point, I would say this is well within standard of what the industry should have at this price point. So well done, Hyundai. Good job. I gotta check out the back. I forgot to check out the back. I'm so used to just driving. Okay, back. I will make Jake go through our footage on the personal space because I did have my kids sit back there and give their review of what they think of the back seat. Yeah, 3 of them. All right, guys, so we're here in the Hyundai Creta and no way to beat the review of the kids. So how's the suspension and the ride in the back, guys?
Awesome!
Okay, describe it better. Is it soft? Is it hard?
It's soft. It's soft.
Soft. So having 3 kids in the back, I could say that the ride is supple for a long drive. So check, family ready suspension for this car. Is it? How about the space? Is it big back there?
Yes.
Bigger than my cars?
Yeah.
Oh boy, okay, so 3 kids in the back, big space. So family check, yep, we're good. So comfort and ride is good for this Hyundai Creta. Okay, so sitting in the back, I did have again I mentioned I had my kids' seat back here, 3 of them, all below 10 years old. And I asked them how it looked like and how it felt like. And they said it was big and comfortable. Now that's the one advantage that you would see because this is a front-wheel drive vehicle. There is no tunnel in between to run the transmission. Therefore, gives the car or the platform more space in the back. In fact, I would say if you're running an all-wheel drive vehicle or a 4-wheel drive vehicle, you would have a much cramper space in here because I do have some bigger SUVs and it felt cramper than this car. Also, without that tunnel, you get that lower, how do you say it? Lower entry point. I don't know if you're particular about it, but you can put your foot out and stand up. So I like that about the height of this car. In the back, okay, seat belts. Just to note, when I had my kids, they had shoulder belts on left and right, but the middle doesn't have a shoulder belt. That's probably one thing I would improve on. Maybe put a shoulder belt for safety. It's only a lap belt in the middle. So that's it. Aircon vents in the back, 1 charge point in the back, and that's about it for the rear of the Creta. Let's check out the boot space. The boot of the Creta, maybe I'm just so used to bigger cars, is good. So what did I put into the rear of the Creta during this trip? I was able to put a JBL party box in the back, a duffel bag, my boxes in one box of, I think 1 Thor box, and when we were in the location we were going, I threw another golf bag in the back. I think that's pretty sufficient for a subcompact vehicle with all the seats up. So needless to say, I didn't memorize the exact liters. Check out my friend's vlogs who does the detailed car reviews. My review is for amount of adventure gear you can put in the back.
Can you fit in there?
If I can fit a golf bag, I have a strong feeling that I will
fit
fit.
in there with those. I know. Can you try?
How do you get out?
It's a bad idea.
So, the final part of the boot is if you get locked in the boot,
There's no way to get
there's
out.
no way to get out. So,
I guess you just have to crawl.
if you want a cage J in the back of the car, this is the best car for that because you won't be able to climb over that either.
Wow.
Is the Hyundai Creta Adventure ready? Well, there are a couple of things you have to note. One, the Creta is running a 1.5 liter, which I think is quite adequate when I drove the car. It is a front-wheel drive vehicle, which gives us limitations on what location you want to go to. If you're going to gravel roads and just simple campsite like this would be a good adventure for the Creta. Also to note, the car is averaging 12.9 liters on my drive over crazy traffic, over 500 kilometers. So, it is adventure ready in terms of road trips. If you like to take long trips, you will be saving fuel for this because I think 12.5 to 12.9 kilometers isn't bad for a car that you will take everywhere. It's not a canyon carver. Because the car does sway a little bit in terms of left and right. But cruising down the highway, the noise levels were perfectly fine. The power was adequate. You could hit north of the speed limit.
Just right the speed limit.
Yeah, just stick with the speed limit, but you could if you want to. So, who is this car for then? I think the Hyundai Creta is perfect for the single individual who, probably a manager, a corporate guy, or also someone who is looking for their first car that would give them most of the qualities or the features that a modern vehicle would have. It's solid, it's quite comfortable, it's efficient, it's good looking. And at the end of the day, it's a car that's something I would recommend if you're looking for your first car. So, go check it out if you want to see the Hyundai Creta by yourself. I don't know, check it out somewhere. Probably a dealer's or your newest Hyundai dealer. So here's a Hyundai Creta. Probably you fit a King's freezer in there, a King's drawer maybe, and probably a couple of iCamper stuff. But yeah, that's about it for this car. So we liked it, we checked it out. Do like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. This again from Joel from Overland Kings. We'll see you in the next adventure. Bye.
On my feet, hit the game, winning shot, celebrated with the team like I'm living like I never